Welcome back, everyone. The month of October, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and this is an issue that the organization Saving Grace has seen an increase of right here in our own community here in Central Oregon. This morning, Executive Director Cassi McQueen joins us in studio to speak more on the growing issue and, of course, helping us all raise awareness.
Yes, Cassi McQueen with us now, and we appreciate you certainly being here from Saving Grace. And we had talked earlier about the fact that there has been a significant increase in the amount of violence against significant others, whether it's men or women, 1,200 in the last year alone. What is going on?
Well, here's what we know, David. Domestic violence is common. This is not a new issue. This is an issue that we just don't like to talk about.
Right.
Over 46% of women and 21% of men report having been in an intimate partner violence relationship over their lifetime. Over the last several years, though, we've seen an increase of financial stress, an increase of just trauma that's going on in the world. And what we know is that escalates violence at home. Here's the scary part to me, David. 1,276 survivors are what we reached out to Saving Grace. We know that far more folks in our community are experiencing
And how
this.
does Saving Grace assist those folks when they decide it's time to come forward? And that's the key, isn't it?
That's a great question, yes. So typically folks reach out to us on our 24-hour helpline. We're having that 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And that is a way where we can start to talk, safety plan, create an avenue for survivors to get out. But the fact of the matter is that's just the start, right? After folks reach out to our helpline, we help them with everything from court advocacy, counseling, wraparound services, resources in our community, and more. So the truth is, if somebody thinks they're in a relationship that could kind of meet the criteria of Saving Grace or know somebody else who is, they just need to reach out to our helpline.
So what is it that regular folk out there can do on a regular basis to try and bring these numbers down and protect people from this issue?
Yeah, the thing that we believe about intimate partner violence is it is a community issue. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men report this violence being severe. So I always like to say, if I walk out to take my trash out, if I look in front of me, left and right, if it's not my house, it's one of my neighbors. And so the first thing that we have to do as a community is to stand up and say that we are not going to tolerate this, right? We've all witnessed behavior that might not seem acceptable. We might know folks that are in situations, but we kind of just don't want to overturn that. We don't want to talk about it. Reaching out, asking if people are okay, making sure folks know how to reach Saving Grace is a great first step. And the second is when folks do tell you about their trauma, about what's going on, believing them. That's the most important piece.
Yeah, and that is important. Talk about that hotline. What is that number so folks can call that if they feel like they're in a situation or maybe know somebody in a situation?
Absolutely. So that number is 541-389-7021. And we have trained staff, advocates, volunteers on that helpline 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of the night, early in the morning. If you're certain how long this call could be, we're there to talk through any piece of what's going on.
You talked a little bit about how financial stress can increase, certainly this kind of issue. Does that financial stress and other kinds of stresses increase during the holidays?
Oh, absolutely. It seems like folks always ask, how do you protect domestic violence? When does it go up and down? And sometimes it seems like when we see big swings in our culture, folks going back to school, like you said, holidays, a lot of times what are happening are there's that just increased stress of whether it's being at home with a partner, having that financial stress on top of it, maybe just having a triggering event that we all kind of have at the holidays. And so we do really see an escalation. But what we also see are folks who try to just keep it together. Can I keep it together throughout the holidays? So we encourage folks, reach out to us.
Cassi McQueen, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us at this very early hour from Saving Grace. We want to talk for a moment about learning more about Saving Grace and the work that it does. You can find that information. We put that on your screen at savinggrace.org. And we'll be right back.